Boom. Good morning, man.
Good morning.
How's everybody?
Happy Wednesday.
Good morning.
Man, I love
Another
Wednesday.
day.
Good to see you
day.
again, my
I always
man.
find a reason to have a Monday, and this is another reason to have a Monday. Wednesday's like the major Monday.
Yeah.
I love this day.
I am so excited. I mean, God, how many episodes do we have now?
We're going.
I was thinking about that today. What is the episode count right now?
Yeah. So I mean, you will know that shortly because we're breaking down all the episodes, putting them on a
Yeah.
podcast.
Oh, what a great
stripping them
idea.
down so we'll have all those. But I'd say what we are
40-something, right?
December, January.
I mean, goodness, you gotta
So
think.
we're like 5 months in. 5 months in, we're talking 4 times
Morning.
a month, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
At least 20 shows there.
yeah.
Feels like more than that,
Feels
right?
like way more than that.
We've been doing this for a lot longer.
Yeah, I feel like it's been longer than that. But that's a good thing, right? Because I think that has the reason I feel like that is because like there's a lot of response. Trying to find the live feed.
I just went to, I know, that's what I'm looking at, but it's on my phone here from Honest.
Oh, here we go.
All right, I'm
Please,
like,
if you're watching this
yeah,
morning,
morning.
please share. I don't know if you didn't
There we
get
go.
the update there.
It must have taken like there must
a little
be a lot
bit
of
there.
traffic.
Yes,
That's crazy.
that was wild.
It's so good to see everybody, man.
Yes, indeed.
You know, just waking up for me, 155,000 people. You hear me say it every day. 155,000 people, 55 million.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's a lot of people that didn't wake up today. So to be one of those people, I feel very blessed.
Without a doubt. I mean, there's so many people, tragedy in so many areas. A big one this past weekend that was just crazy. All the families that were affected by that. And, you know, it's crazy how short life is. You talk about it all the time. That's one of your favorite things to say. The brevity of life. Right?
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
Shane?
I mean, that's huge.
I mean, we have
Most
that
people don't
conversation.
talk about it.
No.
I'm getting this screen monitor. You know, sometimes this technology, all this great technology I have drives me bananas. Does it ever drive anyone else bananas? Or is it just me that goes bananas sometimes over that? Right? Like, I love it. I do. It's amazing.
Technology. It's
You
the
know,
best
I used to
friend
have to
of
buy
ours.
Apple TVs for everything.
Yeah.
For
And
sure.
then every time they upgrade, I gotta upgrade.
Yeah.
Whether I want to or not. I'm sure every business is like that.
They lock you in.
Without a
They
doubt.
lock you in for life.
And hi, Kat, Scotty.
Morning,
good to see you,
morning.
man. It's good to see you, brother.
I'm glad to be back, my
it's
man.
so good
Yeah,
to see you. I
definitely.
see you all the time.
I know.
I mean, but it's to sit down like this.
I
always
think you
good to
must
have
run every time I'm going to get lunch because I see you every day.
Isn't it
every
crazy?
day.
Or he just goes to get lunch a lot.
Yeah. I know, you don't take too
Or
much.
just go down there.
So I honestly, I'll hit Chipotle or I go back, actually go home. I've been trying to eat a little bit healthier lately. So I go home and actually I'll cook lunch.
Nice.
It's like chicken, rice, broccoli, things like
That's
that.
what I did.
So,
I used to.
If not, he goes to the Chinese.
if not, I go no, I haven't been there in a minute.
Sharon invited. It's so good to see everyone. There's a couple things we've been doing, and we've had a great response on all of our shows, which is just to put your town.
Yeah.
You know, like, think about social and media. In the beginning of
Without
social
doubt.
media, do you know they studied that most people learned it or didn't get on it because they're kids? Talk about the dog wagging the tail. Think about
Really?
that.
Yeah.
Think about why most people looked at it. Why do people look at TikTok and say TikTok?
Yeah.
Why?
Agreed.
Because the kids were on it first, right?
Sure.
Yeah, right.
So, but think about it in the way of views, eyes, getting your word out. So why don't you lead the way? And that's why we ask you to share and invite. Babe, good morning. It's good to see everyone. Give this a share. Start a watch party. We're going to talk about some amazing stuff. We're going to talk about some cash deals.
Yeah. Definitely
Right?
have some
You guys got
really nice
something going
deals
on
this week.
Friday?
We do.
Yes,
yeah.
we do. We do have some fun going on Friday. I'm excited about that. Looking forward to a pretty cool workshop on Friday. But I think we'll get into that in a little bit.
Yeah.
I think, you know, the first and foremost thing that we wanted to talk about today was, you know, just the condolences passed out to
Yeah.
Kobe. And his
everybody-
family, and everybody
every
that was
family
everybody every
involved, yeah.
family that was involved in that accident. But we were talking about in general why his death and had such an impact on more than just the basketball community. And I truly believe that is the reason that so many different people from so many different backgrounds, from so many different things were affected by, you know, this tragedy is that he really was a brand himself. And, you know, that is so big as we talk about a business, as what you do in life. And we're going to go into marketing a lot today because that's what Scott does, and to focus on that of how to brand yourself in a way that people are enthralled with what you're doing on a daily basis, and then to make a stamp like we love to have the mentality of people over profit.
Yeah.
That on our business.
But you guys really do it. Like, I've had people come to me and said, yo, I saw this house of theirs, and, like, it's legit.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I've had people
For sure.
say that, and I'm like, that's cool. Because that's how they act, and that's how they say it, but they act that way.
Definitely.
Well, it's easy to speak with passion. It's easy to do what we do and have a good time.
If you're authentic. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not what you see here is exactly what we're like in the office together, what we're like when we're coming to a property to make an offer or do a walkthrough, working renovation lists and things like that. So,
For sure.
Well, I was going to say, one of the things about Kobe and just how universally impacted people were by it. I probably, like many people, didn't see it until I opened up Facebook and just scrolled, and every person, there was nothing else being posted for an hour except what had happened, and it's really telling to speak about his impact on society as a at large, really. He's an athlete,
Sure.
but he impacted people who didn't really know basketball.
Well, yes.
And the thing that we continuously hear about him, obviously, is a wonderful family man. My heart breaks. As a parent myself, just what that must be like for his family and all the families that are involved who've lost. It's not just Kobe who's been affected. Kobe's wife Vanessa, but it's what we all say about Kobe. Like, I would love to have, obviously, unfortunately, the time's going to come for us all to leave this earth. To have people speak about me in that regard.
Amen.
He's a competitor. He's a warrior. He's a family man. He did everything he could to provide and be the best version of himself.
For sure.
Yeah.
In every aspect of what we do as a business, I can only hope to aspire to be something half as great as somebody like Kobe could be. But we always shoot for that goal. And the cool thing is he was retired. His career is over. The guy's done with what he's been known for doing, and he's just got this whole other life planned ahead of him. It's amazing, man.
It really is.
It's sad. I mean, it's a heartbreaking instance, but you can look at something in the positive as best you can.
Without a doubt.
Donnie, hey buddy, good morning, man.
I mean, honestly, about that, I think everybody has a different thought process on this, but what he's known for, in my opinion, what people talk about the most is his killer instinct.
Yes.
And as somebody that is an athlete and grew up around athletics and coaches it now, it's almost something you can't teach.
You're right.
It's one of those things that I would say most people are born with. And for me, I broke down. I did a video broke down a video on Monday about like Mamba mentality.
Yeah.
And I think everybody has like their own little idea of what that means. So I wanted to go straight to the source.
Yeah.
And Kobe wrote a book about it. And for me, I looked at the Mamba mentality as just someone that was a killer. Like a black Mamba is one. Like I did some research on that the other day and was like, why really was it? Like I knew what it was. I knew how it was broken out, but like, why a black Mamba?
Yeah.
And so they have a facade that's about them that they're like super aggressive.
Sure.
But the truth of the matter is that they're really not that aggressive until they get back down into a corner.
Gotcha.
And then they're like within 30 or 40 feet, they said, where a Mamba will attack. And then on top of that,
It's a pretty long distance.
yeah, I know, like that's like like when that's like half a basketball
Yeah,
court.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like they get pretty.
Which Kobe gets work from there,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's
they get
accurate.
pretty anxiety. They get a lot of anxiety.
Speak
quickly.
out. More.
But
Rob,
what's
my
up, my
guy.
man? How you doing, brother? And the crazy thing about him, and when I read about the Black Mamba and the way they are, is that they're one of the only snakes. They're the second biggest, most venomous snake, other than a king cobra. And on top of that, they can leap to heights when they attack a human. They literally, it's not unrare to get upper body strikes, and they strike multiple times in a row at a speed that's almost, and you're usually debilitated within 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow.
With the venom that they hold because of the multiple strike mentality that they have. And so when I
I had no idea what my mom was about.
So yeah, no, I mean
Yeah.
I wanted
Wow.
to know. Like I was like, when it happened, I was like, okay, like what is this? And I think that says a lot about, like, even though a lot of people think it's just the aggression and that
Yeah.
killer instinct, I think that breakdown, the actual scientific side of it,
Yeah.
is a lot how Kobe was. Like, Kobe would go hard all the time, don't get me wrong, but like Kobe loved being back down in the corner.
Yeah.
He loved being down by 10 and having to get the rock.
Yeah.
He loved having to go do the extra stuff. He loved knowing that he was not just going to sting you once, he was going to get you once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. That's why a man can drop 81 points.
That's what I was just going to say. 81, man.
And,
Yeah, he might
and,
get 81.
so things like that. And here it says the Mamba mentality is all about focusing on the process and trusting the hard work when it matters most. It's the ultimate mantra for the competitive spirit. And for me, when we talk about real estate, when we talk about Rob's out there with restaurants and whatever it may be, whatever business you're in, like, you have to have a competitive spirit.
Absolutely.
Like you have to have a competitive spirit. That doesn't mean you can't collaborate. That means that you need to be competitive. Like Kobe and Shaq, or when he played on an All-Star team, they did crazy stuff. Like watching his All-Star highlights is nuts. But on the other side of that, like, he was just a killer, man.
Yeah.
Like, and it didn't matter what it was, what obstacle you put in front of him. It was, he trusted the hard work he put in way before the game. He didn't win games on the court.
Right.
He won them in the hours that he put in with the processes and systems and the work ethic and the dedication before he even stepped on that court. And so when he stepped on that court, it was easy.
Yeah.
It was just like,
I've done this a million times on my own. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's I think a really important thought process as you go into the day, and it's hard to look at a tragedy sometimes and pull good from it.
Yeah.
But I'd say the reason he spoke to so many different individuals and so many different people is because he was not just a basketball player, but he was a mindset.
Yeah.
He was a brand of what it looks like to be great. And there's a whole bunch of good. A whole bunch of different people out there that are good. Whole bunch of different people out there that are okay. Even at a high level. But to be great, to be different, to stand out, to be in the conversation of what it looks like, it takes everything in that Mamba mentality, the consistent focus on the process and trusting in the hard work you put in before you got there.
Definitely.
And I think that relates to almost anything we do.
Well, the one thing I just was watching this yesterday, because of course we're continuously seeing, little tidbits about Kobe Bryant and who
Jenny
he was.
Zach.
One of the videos that they showed, or I saw yesterday, was talking about a Lakers teammate had told him as a young player, don't stare Michael Jordan in the eyes.
Yeah.
Because Michael Jordan has the same type of
Michael Jordan's a killer.
connotation that we take with Kobe Bryant being a killer. And Kobe said, "What? Buddy, he doesn't want to look me in the eyes." He's a young basketball player saying that about, arguably one of the greatest players of all times, obviously. And he had no fear. I mean, he was going to look at the greatest right in the eyes and really challenge him, like, you don't even want to look at me.
Sure.
And that's just, that's a mindset, like Eric had already said. What it takes to be great is the hard work up front and the expectation of greatness from yourself.
For sure.
Which, obviously having yourself, if you can hold yourself accountable, nothing will ever stop you. But even having a support system around you, it's awesome, man. But again, it's a sad day. Did you guys see the mural that they did down in New York yesterday?
That was cool, man. That was
really
really
neat.
Yeah, I was excited about that. That was a really neat artwork there. I couldn't believe it went up that fast.
Dude,
it's been like crazy. You've seen them all over the country.
It was one in the Philippines, old basketball court they did.
Yes.
I mean, in the it's just, and look at how, like, York City to the Philippines and everywhere in between
Red
is
Morning,
celebrating the life.
Ryan, good morning. Hey, drop your town. Please share.
Hey,
Start
Ryan,
Watch
good morning,
Party.
Guys, please check in.
It's good to see everyone.
Oh, my buddy Keith, what's up, man? Good morning.
Every Wednesday we bring you motivation, we bring you cash deals, we bring you an opportunity to replant your seed. The only way your seed grows is it's got to go through dirt. And every week we go through the same thing. We're all going through the same thing. It's what do you pick as your thing?
Yes.
Picking your thing is important. What is going on? Good morning, Keith. How are you, Pittsburgh?
That's my buddy right there, man. Oh, Nick Fudale, he's finally back alive. We went to the gym this
Oh,
morning. So
Nick.
Yeah, good morning, Nick. Good morning.
It was a tough start to the day, but it was good. Little breakfast, little gym.
Yeah.
So ready to rock. But yeah.
So I mean, I think it's interesting that I made a picture. I'm posting it right now behind us, and it says, "Live your life in a manner that your audience cheers for a curtain call." And you know, I think that one of the things that I saw from this was that the man lived his life in a manner that everybody, when this happened, not just the basketball fans. Not any of that stuff, but everybody was like, man, this guy did it right. Like he did it right. He made a decision.
Hey,
To hey, nice show, Todd. That stuff was awesome. Great information, man. Loved watching that the other night. But you know, live your life in a manner that your audience cheers for a curtain call.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's really deep if you think about it, because you know, there's so many people that are going to pass on it. You know, they're just going to pass on. And they haven't lived their life in a manner that leaves a legacy behind.
Yeah.
And you got a lot of different people. Like there's, you know, that just go. You know what I mean? That just they live their life. They do what they got to do. They do this, and then they die.
Yeah.
And that's it. And it's sad to say, but that's life. I mean, that is honestly life. So as you go forward in life and make decisions with your business, with your personal life, with your relationships, with friendships, with everybody that you're involved with, man,
Yes.
you gotta leave something behind that says you're different.
Yeah.
And that you want to leave a thought process and a mindset behind that people say, man, he lived his life in a way that all he wanted to do was at 41, was able to affect so many different people's lives. And yes, basketball had a big thing. Yes, he had an incredible following in that world, and he's, you know, obviously one of the more prolific athletes of all time. But at the same time, I would say people can do that too. Like you can have an effect on your community, you can have an effect on your family, your friends, everything like that. But you have to choose every day to live with that mindset, and really live your life in a way that at the end of it, there's going to be errors. You're not going to be perfect. Kobe wasn't perfect, but those things are so small compared to the impact that you had on people's lives that people, all they care about is the good that you plan. The love for your family, the love for your kids, the love for your wife, the love for your friends, the love for your business, the love for your employees, the love for your co-workers, and whoever it is, that your character shines through.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't think anybody can sit around and say they're perfect. So like your character is what will be remembered. And I think that Kobe has had, you know, some struggles, but all in all, his character shone through, and he left a legacy behind by the people he affected in so many different ways.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like you said, the impact's universal. It's still, you know, we're still seeing stuff every day. It's going to probably continue for a lot longer than just this week. And that, you know, obviously you've seen the Hall of Fames changing the rules for this instance. Obviously, no doubt he was the first ballot Hall of Famer, but
without a doubt,
it's neat. You know, obviously the impact he's had, and obviously it's a terrible tragedy.
Frank the Tank, good morning. Share this out. Well, I mean, when you expose yourself, that's a tough position to put yourself in.
For sure.
Right? Because you're either going to rise or fall, and you're going to have to rise and fall several times. Just like everyone in life. It just magnifies it. There's no such thing as celebrity. It's just magnification of the people you affect, whether that's good or bad.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
And so when you go through stuff and you show people the down and the ups, there's more respect given for that, because that makes you more like me.
More relatable,
right? Because our human factor is the same. Our job and our titles and our positions are different. And people sometimes take those and put our position as our humanness, and that's not it.
Yeah.
Our humanness is equal. But what we do is different. And so to put yourself out there. Arius, Wicked Stickers, good to see you.
Hey, Eric,
if y'all
good
have
morning,
a
man.
business, put your business on. Drop your town.
Please do.
Without a doubt. Where are you watching this from? Definitely drop your town. If you have a local business, we want to support you. We want to help you with that. So please don't hesitate to post your business on here. We want to be able to help you with any of that. But that same mama mentality that we're talking about right now, I think a lot of that relates to business in general. And part of that is just overcoming obstacles. There's a lot of different things you need to do. But first and foremost, that mama mentality that he spoke about is trusting your systems and
Isaac, good morning.
processes, right? I mean, that's literally what he said there. Trusting the process, trusting the things that you have and that you've done, the work ethic. And when I relate that to business, it's building processes and systems that are going to work.
Yeah.
And that mama mentality works in all aspects of life. So, what I would say
Brian.
is,
Got an Oregon in here.
what's up, man? Oregon.
Thanks for
Thanks,
posting
man.
it,
Thanks
Brian.
for
Cool,
posting
man.
your time. What's up, man? It's early out there.
Brian's
Brian's
early bird
getting
gets
it.
the worm.
That's right,
All
man.
right, Brian, I like it.
So what we're going to do right now is Scott's here with Honest Home Solutions. He is our Chief Marketing Officer. He pretty much works with a lot of different companies, a lot of different lead generation to help
Eric
us
Leiby.
put ourselves in a position that we can have constant lead flow. And that we can find different ways to find deals.
And that's not easy.
It's not. So in real estate, anybody watching right now, the hardest thing you're going to do is find deals.
Yep.
Once you find a deal, obviously you need to be able to capitalize on that deal. But the hardest thing that anybody will tell you is a significant lead flow of a consistent of consistent value that you can actually have individuals reaching out to your company, continuously being able to purchase houses, be able to find deals, and be, obviously winning deals because lots of people are out there doing it now. But at the same time, the actual lead flow of finding deals is the toughest part of, this real estate game. So I'm gonna ask Scott a few questions. I want him to really talk about what we're doing. So we're gonna go over, if you are somebody looking for more deals, or you are looking to break into this business, and you're looking for ways to find deals in real estate, here is an opportunity for you. We're going to go over some of the biggest companies that are being used right now by the smaller and the big boys of real estate, of how they use them and what they do. And we're going to use these companies. We're going to show you how we use them. And you can go use them yourself for that. And then we're going to talk about a really cool wholesale thing that we're doing on Friday to show you even a deeper dive of how to use some of these things so you can go find your whole deal. So let's. Where do you want to start? What company do you think is where we need to start?
Right, we're on the right one right now. So
Perfect.
Deal Machine, and just to kind of touch on one thing he said is, lead generation is so difficult in a saturated market. Central PA is full of people trying to do the things that we're doing. Obviously, we're doing things that other people do as well. It's finding ways to get in and start carving out your niche within that local market space. Again, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can do, just be authentic, be real, put in the effort, that Mamba mentality on a daily basis, and you won't be stopped.
100%.
So the reason I started and kind of led off with Deal Machine is it's a really cost-effective way to get started. I know we've talked before about, different techniques, but now today we're really diving into resources and vendors that you might be able to work with or utilize their services. So driving for dollars is the idea, if you're not familiar, really just getting in your car, spending a few hours driving around, looking for properties that may be vacant. Maybe they're I guess, in rough shape. Maybe you can tell that it doesn't look like somebody's been there for a long time. It needs a lot of work. These are potential leads in what we do.
Take the long way to work sometimes. That's all it takes you. You know what I mean? Like, this what he's about to tell you right now is not about spending a whole bunch of cash. This is a basic, good way with minimal cost involved, maybe a few extra dollars in gas, $2.39. Or $2.99 if you have to put 93 in. But these are ways. Just take the long way to work, take the long way home, and he'll get into that of what that means in driving for dollars.
Well, and one quick example of that is one day Eric sends me a picture of a property that looks blighted, it looks vacant, it's got a doorpost. It's behind our office. Like, it's right there on the hill behind our office.
For sure.
You got to keep your eyes open. Take a different route to the office. He actually found 2 in that neighborhood that day.
Yes, I did.
It's just really important to keep your eyes open. And once you start cognitively thinking about where you can find deals, you're going to see them all over the place.
For sure.
So Deal Machine, it's an application you can download on your phone. It is incredibly easy to use. We've started utilizing it as a team before and after appointments.
Without a doubt.
Because, obviously when we're out there on the road, you can kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Really utilizing your time a little bit more efficiently. So what you'll do is on the application, you create an account. I think there's a very low monthly cost. It may be $49 or $99 a month, which again is a very minimal investment when you think about it.
For sure.
You literally can drive. If you see a property that looks vacant, you'll take a picture of it. You confirm the address, and with a few quick clicks, you can send a postcard directly to the owner of record for that property with a picture of the property on it.
How does it find, like, when you say it goes directly to that owner, so it pulls tax record information?
It does, yeah. Okay. So it does actually pull the information from tax record. You can actually even go a little bit further. You can pay, it's like 40 more cents or something like that to actually find their phone number as well. If you want to send a text message, maybe give them a phone call, it's a little bit more personable. Because, at the other end of a postcard, you never know who it is.
For sure.
They might get a postcard, but if they get a card, then they get a personalized voicemail, and then they get a text message from you, it's a lot more likely that you're going to reach them. And sometimes we don't realize that this house could be vacant because perhaps it's an estate. Maybe there's somebody in Arizona's parent had maybe passed, or a family member, and they don't know how to sell it. Maybe they got behind on payments and they just decided, you know what, forget it. I'm going to leave the house there. They don't realize they can actually make money on this property still. So there's a lot of ways you're actually helping somebody perhaps in that situation. And yeah, I mean, it's
sometimes
so
I think
easy.
they just have to walk away.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. That's a big one.
And they're like, oh man, I just can't afford to live here anymore. And they don't think they have enough equity, but really, they're in a position where even though the house is banged out, that somebody like ourselves can come and buy it. They know they can't put it on the market, but they don't even know that cash buyers will buy it with a hole in the roof.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And put a whole new roof on it. And as long as, based on what they owe on it, these are times that you can find killer deals this way.
Sure.
Because sometimes these are deals where somebody just, you had a renter that just got up and left. And the landlord might be out of state.
Yeah.
He might not even know that they left. And
so the check doesn't come 2 months later on.
Exactly. And they might have left a couch and a mattress on the front porch and no one even knows until they get a fine from the local township, or the grass isn't cut, they get a fine for that, or they don't get their check.
Yeah, shovel the sidewalk.
So those are definitely driving for dollars is something that we've talked about a million times. We focus on. We really try to make sure that we get people out there doing it.
Yeah.
And it's just a huge, especially if you're getting into this business and you don't have a lot of capital. Please get out there and start driving for dollars, because it makes a difference.
Well, the first 2 things you should do is drive for dollars and leverage your social media. I mean, those are the 2 most cost-effective ways. Obviously, we can talk about postcards, and we'll kind of look at that here in a little bit, but it's a really, really cost-effective way to kind of get started.
Wednesday morning.
Yeah, so I mean, even Kelsey right there, the Palmyra house, that's off, was that the Grant?
Please share, start a watch party.
4 days from tax sale, we were able to help him out. We had one in Howard, Mount Eagle Road.
Sure.
The lady didn't know she still owned the property until she got a card from us.
Yeah.
And we were able to work a deal. We got it to the finish line. It actually was very minimal profit for us, but it was such a huge burden in her life. She sent a necklace to Kelsey after she got done. Just a nice, really thoughtful little piece. It's just, that was a case where our company didn't make a whole lot of money, but we did the right thing and we got it to the finish line. That's what we love about what we do.
We thought it was a deal where it was going to be profitable for both parties, but it ended up there was a lien on the property, and it was not profitable at all for us. And but that's okay, because when you don't do those things, you can't sit here and week in and week out say people over profit, and then don't operate like that. So like, we truly have proven it time and time again that yes, we're in this business to run a business and to make money and do those types of things, but our whole goal is it's people over profit. And that's just part of it. So what's next here, man? What's another way that another channel for marketing that these guys can use for a way to reach out to people. We got REI Pro here.
This is actually a system I haven't used a ton, but I know it's one that I see a ton of other investors who work out of. We've just kind of chosen a different system for ourselves. We use something called Investor PO, which the reason I chose REI Pro is that they actually have lead generation within their system, whereas ours is more so just a CRM. We kind of dig out our leads from some other resources. So REI Pro is kind of a one-stop shop for some different things. Obviously, as you're growing, and you're working your deals through Deal Machine, or you're driving for dollars, your social media, you're starting to leverage new contacts and leads through friends and family, what you might consider your sphere. Certainly as a Keller Williams agent, you've heard that term many times.
Without a doubt.
You might need a centralized location. You may not need a CRM right away. It's a client relationship manager.
Sure.
You can use an Excel spreadsheet. But this is something that really centralizes your deals. You're able to become more organized and ideally more profitable with your deals when you kind of keep them centrally located. So it provides lead generation first and foremost. So literally with a few clicks, you can look at things like high equity lists, delinquent lists, tax delinquent lists, 30, 60, 90, sometimes 60, 90, and 100 days behind payments. And I'm kind of speaking a little fast. If you guys ever do have questions as well, DM me or private message. I'm always available. Or give me a call. I'll make sure I tag my cell phone number. But it's a system that allows you to go in with a few clicks. You can actually look at a map. You can actually select your criteria and begin finding deals locally. It's really easy. It's also very cost effective to start this at the onset. I know the cost kind of rises as you start utilizing more systems. But for people newer to the industry as well, one of the things we always deal with newer investors is, and like we had to deal with as well, is running comps on your properties.
Sure.
This is actually pulling and handling, comping your properties from the MLS.
Wow.
So it gives you, instead of looking at Zillow for your values, there can be accurate, but sometimes it's so vastly far off the right number that you really get yourself into trouble. This will provide MLS comps, properties, their sell-by dates,
Definitely.
things that have sold recently within that specific neighborhood on that street, breakdowns by square foot, bedrooms, bathrooms. It also actually allows you to do direct mail and marketing straight from this program as well. So for us, we had to centralize a lot of our processes recently because you have so many things going on, especially as you ramp up activity. It's really helpful to have them all be in one location. We've used a CRM that we plug our systems into. This kind of provides it all into one.
If you're starting out by yourself and you don't have a team around you, it's really important to have everything centralized. In my opinion, like if you're just doing this by yourself, or it's one and two people, and you guys are looking for deals, you're trying to find your first wholesale deal, you're not sure if you're going to do a fix and flip, you're looking for funding, whatever it may be, like having everything centrally located so that you have somebody out here that has a system in place to not only manage the leads that you get, but to give you a breakdown of what that really looks like, of comps, to understanding where that client is once you've talked to them, just making sure that you can both go, or just yourself go to one place instead of having a significant number of different things, different companies' products that you have to bounce around to each different one to find out what's going on here, how's this work, where's the comp here, and that takes time. And don't get me wrong, there's sometimes advantages to breaking things down because an individual thing might be better than something that's all put together sometimes. You might get better information out of something that's purely built for one thing. But when you're starting out, if you're not doing a ton of deals, like this is a really, really, really strong place to have everything at one time so that you can really work on growing your business. I mean, that's
great tip.
It's a huge.
Great marketing.
So now actually, let me switch a little more. So we slide over to Lead Sherpa. My apologies. I think I said
I would tell everyone you're a marketing company, man. Whatever you do, you have to understand if you're not telling your story, then you're not really in business at that point.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You're a marketing company, and everything your widget afterwards is your widget.
Without a doubt.
And you guys do a great job, so you should be taking some notes. This is great information. Appreciate you sharing it. Everyone should share this out and invite some friends and start a watch party, man. There's a lot of people out there that are wanting to start a business, get into the business, whatever business. Their formula will work for any business. So
for sure.
Absolutely, yeah, and you're right. I mean, any business is really about marketing. Obviously you need to have the product, or the service on the back end that supports what your message has been. But the most difficult parts up front, really, because
For sure.
our service, we don't doubt it because you're going to get us, and we care about people, so that's easy. It's the front end of really how do you find them? How do you let them know that you're available to be an option?
I mean, you guys take this phone and you bring it out like
You know what I mean? You do.
Sure.
You know?
And, I mean, actually, I can guarantee, and you guys can post it or not, if you can really tell me the specs on the phone you have in your hand, if you have an Apple or you have a Samsung or you have some other random kind, tell me what the specs are on that phone. You probably have no idea. I would almost guarantee you have no idea. And if you do, more power to you. But
I know my memory.
The fact of the matter is that sometime you decided to make that choice based on what somebody put in front of you. And what you saw on the TV, what you saw, in some situation where they broke down what you were going to buy.
Yeah.
And you made a decision based on nothing else other than the way they marketed to you. And that's the way you're going to make decisions on this, on everything you do. So that's why we try to make sure that you know who we are, what we represent, what we do. And that's the same way you should be. I would say outside of anything that we're going to talk about right now, because all these things are used on a computer, another thing that I would say if you want to be successful in this business is have a web presence.
Well, you guys are like TikTok, man. Like, for real. TikTok wasn't relevant. You can look it up. There's thousands of apps, tons of money out there. And how does a company become relevant quick? And there's a formula, but, you guys weren't doing this 5 years ago.
For
You
sure.
know who you are.
Yeah.
So follow formulas of people. You don't have to like somebody to understand and respect the formula for success.
No.
It's numbers and patterns.
Without a doubt.
And you guys do an excellent job at it. You guys apply consistent pressure. I think is important is you are consistent in the pressure you apply.
Definitely. And that
And your
consistency is so
message,
crucial. I agree.
Your actions. And
Yeah.
I think those are super keys, and you guys are a marketing machine. Good morning. It's good to see everyone.
Now we're looking here just behind me. This is a system. It just says Sherpa. That's just the logo, but it's actually called Lead Sherpa, Lead Sherpa. This is actually a program I know we leverage a ton right now. Also, I know another of other larger investors in the area are also leveraging this. So this is a great tool for you to kind of get into the ring with some of the people like ourselves and other companies in the area who are doing a lot of volume. I'm really highlighting some different tactics. So we talked about driving for dollars, using Deal Machine, doing lead generation through a CRM like REI Pro. And this here is a text-based system. So, Eric and I were kind of sitting down brainstorming one day, and obviously we sent a lot of postcards, and they work. They are successful, but they're very costly. And we talked about how every day I get mail, and I throw all of it away. If it doesn't look like a bill, then I pretty much throw it away. And so it's never going to reach me. A postcard's not going to reach me. So, but do you know what does? A text message. I never don't read a text message.
Without a doubt.
This system here,
No matter how many times you try to leave people on read, you read that, you read that text message.
Exactly. I had to see it. I had to know what it was. And so this is just another route. Now, here's what it does. You can take information or lists that you're building, whether it's somebody's name or their address, ideally both. You can submit it into the system to do something called skip tracing. So you literally take your list in their format, you plug it in, which is names and addresses. It will actually return back to you cell phone numbers that are, and they scrub it versus the do not call list and a litigators list. So people who have fought against getting these types of messages before. So it really keeps you in compliance with what the laws are as far as reaching out to people.
For sure.
And once you do the skip trace, it takes about 10 minutes, maybe less. You're ready to start clicking and sending text messages. You can customize your message. You can reach hundreds of thousands of people even a day as you're doing this. Individually sending text. You can respond back directly through the browser. You can actually, if you set it up correctly on your phone, you can respond back directly from your cell phone.
Wow.
So you can take it with you on the go. This has been a shifting trend in the market because obviously when you get 5 postcards, what's the differentiator there? If you're the only person texting somebody's cell phone, that might just be enough for them to say, you know what, okay, these guys, let's see what they have to tell me. Maybe there is an offer here. Maybe I do want to sell.
And how are you finding numbers? So, obviously to text something, you got to find numbers.
Yeah.
So what are we doing that these individuals could do if they do, say they go, maybe they don't go through the whole process, but they go down to the courthouse and they get a list,
Yes.
a delinquent list or 30, 60, whatever it may be, that they want to go grab down there. Now they got a whole bunch of public knowledge lists. How do they track to get numbers so they can text? I mean,
yeah. So the process, and kind of like I just touched on a moment ago, it's called skip tracing. So it's the idea, and I think it really goes back to I think Max Maxwell had been talking about it.
do we have any of that?
I'm actually going to pull it up right now. So Lead Sherpa actually provides the skip tracing within their system once you enter it into there.
Nice.
So that's really primarily where I've been skip tracing most of the things that we've been doing.
And when you skip trace, how many numbers does it give you?
So there's different systems. So Lead Sherpa will pull the top number. It'll just pull the top number for them. There's things like REI Skip. It will send you a spreadsheet
Please share
of email addresses. I mean, you can have 2 or 3 email addresses that this person's had.
Sure.
5, 6 phone numbers. Any phone number that's associated with them. We use a particular company called Locate Plus, where I can do a search by an address or by a name with a town, and it will give me a history of phone numbers that may have been associated with somebody. And it's just a quick way you can say, hey, I saw the property at this address.
Definitely.
I might have the wrong number, but I'm looking to buy. If you've thought about selling, I'd love to make an offer. It's pretty non-invasive. If they're not thinking about selling, you move on. No big deal. You'd be surprised though how many people say, yeah, I have thought about selling. How did you get my number? And I tell them, I say, hey, I use these resources that I have online. It's a way to reach out and just be better at our business. If we believe we're servicing people, we need to find a way to reach them. So REI Skip's a big one. I know Skip Genie is a big one as well that I know a lot of people use. We've been leveraging Lead Sherpa, and now those are all batch skip tracing. So you're skip tracing 10, 20, 30, 100, 1,000 leads at a time. I'll use something like Locate Plus down to a more granular level. If I drive by a vacant property and I want to call them specifically, which sometimes those are your best deals, I'll kind of look at it on an individual basis. But yeah, and again, sometimes it's a numbers game, so you need to batch skip trace 1,000 leads at a time.
I was gonna say, one thing I always let people know is, anyone can take on the opportunity of a deal or a lead or whatever you want to call it, but it's the endurance actually to get between those and keep the enthusiasm. That's one of the major keys to success of any business. Is you have to understand you're not the only one that's at the 90% fail, 10% success rate.
Yeah.
That's how it is. That's why most people don't go into business or sales, because the 3 things you have to deal with are the 3 things people fear: loneliness, fear of the unknown, and rejection. Those are the 3 things people avoid.
For sure.
And so the key to marketing with all these things is the endurance of the space between the people that you might have a good conversation with. You have to have that kind of endurance. Would you agree?
Spot on.
100%.
I mean, the biggest thing for us is when we do send out 1,000 text messages in a day, you can bet 1,000 people didn't want to be contacted. So obviously you need to be respectful. You're reaching out to them. You don't know if they're thinking about selling the property. So hey, if you don't want to be contacted, it's not a problem. Obviously, our apologies for reaching out. But every 100, 200 text messages that you send, you get somebody that says, yeah, I've been thinking about it.
Thanks, Jermaine. We appreciate that, man.
Perfect timing. Yeah, that's fantastic. Thanks, Jermaine. But it is a numbers game. I mean, anything, in any business, really. I mean, you're not if you're at 100% rate, then it just doesn't exist. It
doesn't exist.
If you're successful 20 to 30% of the time, well, what's it in baseball? If you're successful 30% of the time, you're going to be a Hall of Famer if it's your own career.
No one even hits hardly
practice.
Yeah.
So the process was the actual success.
No one even hits over 300 in baseball anymore.
No, in school you're going to go to this principal in detention if you hit 300, but yet in real life you hit 300. I mean, really,
without a doubt,
and you're knocking out the park.
Yeah,
You got comfortable with A's, you might be soft when you come out of school. You got comfortable with F's, you might be hard body. Why do you think most entrepreneurs? I mean, look at it. Just look at the psychology of it. They're used to it. They got that alligator skin.
Sure.
That's without a doubt. You need that too.
And I'm just saying, it's the mentality. You're talking about the mama mentality. It's a mindset. It's a grind set. It's you engulfed in this little bubble.
For sure.
Right? And how can I go down that path? And these instruments let you be in an area you can do this anywhere.
Yes, for
right?
sure.
And that's the key.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. But we're not encouraging bad grades. Any kids that watch this.
Well, no, because bad grades, like
Yeah.
mine were because of low effort.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
It wasn't because
And I
couldn't.
just didn't like school. Like
Right.
it wasn't my learning environment for me. But that doesn't.
That's all changed. It's a whole different ballgame.
For
now.
sure, without a doubt, 100%. So, lead Sherpa, we've gone to REI Pro, we've taken
So
a look
the
at
last-
Deal Machine.
The last two I would look at is these are so when we're talking about like if you're looking to purchase data and find lists, that's a large part of what we do as well.
Sure.
This is obviously the reason I kind of ended with these particular
Ashley.
resources.
Ashley, what's up? Good
Hey,
morning.
Ashley, good morning.
Please share this. Thank
We
you.
it's a little there's cost to these. You know, obviously upfront cost that you're going to have to work this data and these leads as they come in. Now,
Yeah.
you can take this data, plug it into Lead Sherpa and text them, or pick up your phone and call them. But these are two list providers that we've leveraged sometimes for very specific campaigns, or even for some of our macro mailing efforts. You know, some of our larger larger spends per month
sure.
or per quarter, whatever it may be. So this one, Citricato, I'm just like everybody else. Sometimes I'm Googling who provide list providers,
Without
data
doubt.
providers, and then I call, interview, not interview, but I have a conversation with the person. Do they know what they're talking about? Do they have any clue of what we do specifically as a real estate investor? And actually, the guy Steve that I'd spoken with there, fantastic guy. Actually, he lives in California, LA. He's from Lancaster,
Sure.
so it just happens to be a small world. He was a real estate investor himself. Just fits a really nice niche, understanding what we're looking for. And he really built a custom list for us for a couple of different things. But he's really looking at, some of the crucial criteria is equity. Equity is the biggest thing. And I see Jermaine's question there. I'll answer that here in just a moment.
Yes, sir.
You
Morning, Matt.
can't buy a property and
deals.
have a return on what you're spending if there's no equity in the deal. Now, you can find creative methods to make a deal happen, whether it's a subject to purchase, something like that, for instance, or a short sale if somebody's upside down, which are things we'll discuss this Friday in our workshop. This is, I've lost my train of thought looking at this question there. I'm sorry. The PCC
Citricato.
question. Yeah, Citricato. Sorry. But this is, so it's a way you're looking at equity. You need the equity in a property to find
man.
the deals. Hey, Matt. Good morning, man. So equity, years of ownership, things like that. Sometimes, the delinquencies, he'll build a list with all of these different criteria and factor for an area you're focused in. Let's say you want to say, I want to buy in the 17403 area code. That zip code. That's what you want. He'll build you a list with all these criteria just in that area. Maybe it's by a school district, whatever it may be. A lot of times we'll break down our list by school district.
But this has a little bit more cost.
There is cost for this, absolutely, but
Because you're getting
customized.
you're getting a customized list.
Yeah.
So you're paying for his work.
Yeah, exactly.
And, what he's doing,
And his expertise.
his expertise over time. All right, and then
So the other one, go one more over. That's
Yeah.
a better image here. They didn't really have a great logo online, although we've used them quite a bit. Sean on our team has been building out some lists recently as well. He had a great idea to kind of start customizing some of our own direct targets.
For sure.
This can be as cost effective or as expensive as you want. You don't need a huge list. You
Sure.
can go in and you can really get very granular with what your expectations are that you're looking for, whether it's at high equity or years of ownership or the mortgage origination dates, things like that. You can buy a list of 100. You can buy a list of 30,000. Obviously, the more you buy, there's a cost per lead. So this is one that really allows a lot of customization. Our team, and I know some other teams in the area, utilize a guy named John Martinez for their sales training, for their acquisitions training in particular. He highly recommends ListSource. When he and I had a conversation one-on-one, he gave me some criteria. If you want more specifics on that criteria, please reach out to me directly. As far as the specific equity you're looking for, the specific time in which somebody's owned a property, and specific areas that you might want to target. This is just a great way to, as you're familiarizing yourself with the industry, really understanding who we're trying to reach.
without a doubt.
You do a customized there. Now, I'll answer very quickly. I wasn't going to touch on pay-per-click, which is Jermaine's question there, PPC. We have been doing that recently. We work with a company in Massachusetts who really has helped us develop our presence online. So we're doing our bidding through Google Ads, and we've seen a really nice response.
For sure.
We actually found out through some of our deep dive with them that some other competitors are bidding on our name. You didn't realize when somebody would search our company, they would see a competitor because they're bidding for it.
So it's crazy, right? I mean, you think
It's a
about
good idea.
It's
Well,
a great
you're
idea.
forcing
Great
them to
idea.
come
No,
down
it's
on their
just it's a
companies, yeah.
smart idea. But think about that. So if you have a company, you can actually, with PPC, you can say, okay, I want to bid on their name so that when anybody searches them,
Yep.
that you also pop up in an ad of somebody. So what you're doing is they might not known you existed, or they might have known you existed, but didn't really, they had seen our video, and they went to our website to look us up, and next thing you know, now you have a spot where they can click on you now and find out about you, and now it's a toss up. You know what I mean?
At least you have a chance.
You just gained. Maybe if it was 100% zero when they typed your name because they didn't know about you, you got. I mean, I'd say you just popped your chances up 20% there, at least clicking on
Easily.
you. Probably more like 20 to 40%. That they're at least going to click on you because you're going to have pretty much very similar tagline setup as your competitor. You know what I mean?
People like choice.
Sure.
If they're considering, hey, I got a card from this company. Let me look them up. Let me see if they have a website. And then they see our company there as well, or vice versa. They've got our card and they see another competitor on our, with an ad on our page. It's okay. Well, let me just check them both out.
For sure.
Might as well, right? You're on the same page. It's 2 clicks away. So that's really important. Obviously, everybody's in a competitive market, so you need to find a way to leverage that mama
100%.
mentality. I'm in this to win it. I want to be the best that we can possibly be, and competition I think breeds greatness from anybody.
Without a
so
doubt.
you need to recognize. In that case, it was a shortcoming of ours over the first 7-8 months that we were in business that we've started to rectify. You're constantly looking at new avenues. We had a really neat meeting yesterday for some new marketing initiatives that we're going to be doing.
And Jermaine, there's some awesome
continuously
cold calling too as well.
Yeah.
There's a few companies out there. One I believe we're going to be starting to work with.
There's a company called TeleREI, TELEREI. They do cold calling. There's a company called Call Geeks. They're based out of, I think their corporate office is in Arizona. Jared Vidalis is a big time investor out there who's created this company. They're leveraging VAs, but who have been very high. VAs are virtual assistants, typically sometimes out of the country, who are making calls on your behalf. They do a really high level type of training for their dialers, for people making the calls. So it's a way you can hire someone to, if you don't love making cold calls, or if you're really busy and maybe you have a full-time job, or you're just busy doing the daily grind, it's a great way to leverage some outside help and resources in a pretty cost-effective way as well. There's cost to everything, the further you get down the line, but when you start to recognize if there's a return on your investment, if it meets a certain threshold, don't be afraid to spend the money, because that's the only way you're going to really make money. So obviously there's a lot of ways to get started early, and then, most importantly, when we're talking about digging deeper into these things, all of whether it's lead generation or specifically a lot of what he'll talk about is wholesaling this Friday, you're going to have an opportunity for 2 hours to sit down one-on-one in a very intimate setting and environment to really discuss these things.
Yeah. So a lot of people had questions. I've been reached out to a lot over the last 6 months, 4 months in particular, of really. How do you find leads to wholesale?
Yeah.
What are you doing differently that makes it possible for you to wholesale? How do you purchase a property, build relationships with other investors, and make it possible for you to buy a deal, find an investor, build a relationship with multiple individuals that give you the possibility of, for limited cash in, sometimes no cash in, depending on what your goals are, how hard you're willing to work, to get from contract to wholesale, and selling that property for a profit, without ever purchasing it. And it's an incredible thing, especially to start building capital before you get into the fix and flip world. If your goal is to get into the fix and flip world, but you want to learn how to start generating leads. Or finding properties, what it looks like to start wholesaling, to build some capital. We have some awesome friends at PA Deals who do an incredible job with a mentorship in fix and flip, which we were a part of. And then, so you can even use the money you make wholesaling, because wholesaling is a hustle and a grind. You got to get that lead flow, you got to come in. It's definitely... fix and flip is a little bit different. It takes a little bit longer. You're looking at 6 to 8 weeks, 6 to 12 weeks to buy a property, renovate it, update it. And yes, we do some, but I would urge you, if that's the case and you're looking into fix and flip, to we have the ability to show you how to do some of these things on the wholesale side, and then use that capital to get it in the fix and flip game with a mentorship with Zach Wiest and Matt Hockley over at PA Deals. And they're doing a great job over there. I have already heard multiple success stories from students in their fix and flip classroom. So it's where you want to focus your time and where you are financially, what type of funding you have. They're even funding deals for people through this mentorship program, so that they can do that. And sometimes you just got to put yourself in a position to grow. And there's sometimes a growth that goes with it. And you start sometimes maybe finding a deal here and moving into a position where you're ready for that. But we're willing to talk about that on Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. I got 2 people that signed up this morning. We're down to 4 seats. I capped it. We were pretty much sold out about 4 hours after we posted this initial thing. But it is really just, it's free. We didn't sell anything, actually. But it's really just going to go over some of the stuff we spoke today, what companies to use to find a deal if you're out there finding a deal, how to negotiate your first deal, and really how to build relationships for wholesale. Dispositions, yes, and
that's you can't sell it if you don't have a buyer.
Yes, and what that looks like, and even how to utilize different people in your market, including us, if you do find deals. To get better. So it'll really be a breakdown of how to wholesale, what to do, how we're going to get it done. We have 4 more seats available. So if you are interested in coming on Friday between 2 and 4, please reach out to me directly. Go to my Facebook, Honest Home Solutions Facebook. You can reach out to me or Scott via text, and we'll make sure that you get the information needed to be there. Again, we have 4 seats left for that. It is a free workshop. Going to be talking solely on wholesaling, how to do it, what we're going to be doing there, and the questions that you have once you're getting into it, how to add deal flow, how to find a deal, and then just a live Q&A of how it's been possible for us in a 10-month period of time to be involved in 80 plus deals in over we're on track to do $1 million in gross profit for the first year in business. So it's definitely a great little session that we're going to be having on Friday. So 4 seats left. If you're looking to get in there, reach out to me directly. It'll be a great time. And then last but not least, what do we have?
Some deals, man. Some deals.
Cash deals,
baby. Part of the show.
That's what we do. So first and foremost, here we go. This is the coolest address of all time.
He thought I was lying to him when I said it.
This is 123 Main Street in Biglerville. So
which is the generic address every real estate professional uses. John Doe, 123 Main Street.
It is literally
a lot of mail.
Hey, you know what, Jermaine? What I'm gonna do with
I
that
just sent him a message as well.
is, we can hop on a call, and also I might just go Facebook Live for part of this on Friday.
That'd be a good idea.
And really put some good content out there, and see, if you want to jump on and you're out of state, let's get that done. Maybe we can go Facebook Live. There might not get quite all the information, but you can always reach out to us personally, Jermaine, and we'll walk you through it. But again, it's not going to be like every little detail. It's a free workshop to help you get started. It's only 2 hours long, but it is just some information that you should have if you're going to jump into this 10 toes.
Hey, Carol, good morning.
In. So, Crystal, how are you this morning? Good to see everybody. Rowan, what's up, man? So, with this cash deal, this is 123 Main Street. Again, awesome address. We're selling this thing for $65 cash. It definitely needs some work. It has 2 big garages in the back. Has 4 off-street parking spaces along with the 2 garages and the workshop. It is a 4-bed, 2 full bath home. It is in Biglerville School District. Definitely a neat house, the old brick colonial style. It's just a cool house, lots of space, over 2,000 square feet. Metal roof on there, just a neat spot. Nice side yard out there. Kick some soccer ball, throw some football. I only said soccer because he's sitting here.
How about that? It's a good day.
Because he's sitting here. And shout out to, what's his name, Neymar?
Oh, Neymar, yeah,
Hit the
he tried to
2-4.
go in.
Hit the 2-4
in
with the
Paris, they
Monaco
were
mentality.
affected by it. Yeah.
You know, so $65,000 for this. It's a great property. About $45K worth of reno though here, maybe 50, depending on if you're doing it yourself or subcontracting it out.
Yeah.
You're going to be in that price point right around there somewhere. 629 South Broad Street in Lebanon. This is a killer rental property.
Yeah.
This is actually on the market for about $15,000 higher than what we have it here. But this cash price is $55K. We can move, this is something that you can throw a renter in there right away. The renter just moved out.
Yeah.
We cleaned it out. We got everything ready to go. And, this is a property that you can literally purchase, put a renter in there the next day. Probably rents for around $900 to $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
$950, I would say, is probably a safe bet. With that 3 beds, 1 bath. Great property. No, 2 beds, 1 bath. I apologize about that.
That's true. It's actually getting a lot of traction on the market right now, so
For sure.
you could be buying a property with immediate equity. So
Absolutely.
obviously that's the name of the game, really. So
Without a doubt. Then we have 898 Goodyear Road in Gardner's, PA. I don't know if this is things back on the market.
it's getting hammered. with
It is
showings
getting
right now,
hammered
so.
with showings. We have pictures online. You can see any of these properties, anything we have on our website at honesthomesolutions.com. We have every piece of inventory that we have there posted on there. We have, if it's listed on the market, what it's listed for. We also have listings from our partner, Nick Fudale, whatever he has listed on the market. There's a lot of fun stuff on there. And, this property, 898 Goodyear Road, is a 4-bed, 1-bath property on a little over an acre. Just a really neat,
A nice
home,
big flat acre.
updated windows,
Christopher
metal
Baker,
roof,
TC Backer.
great porch. Just a lot of stuff, guys. Thanks for checking in again. But this is
Great show
a
last
great
night.
opportunity for you to get on there, and this actually will be $129,995.
Thanks, babe.
So getting an acre and a half, a big barn, all this stuff. Thank you for posting that, Christy. Appreciate it. But 898 Goodyear, don't miss this opportunity. And then this is an investor and retail. You can go both ways on this.
Wow,
house.
4 bedroom, 3.5 bath.
Yeah, this is a really
doesn't
cool
want
property.
that?
CV
I might buy it.
Wow.
This has an awesome pool, newer liner, all
Under
new windows,
300K?
under $300K in a neighborhood where you really can't get in this neighborhood for under $300K. The next door neighbor's house sold for $330. It
We
has
shared
1 less
this.
bedroom, 1 less bathroom. Does also have a pool, but great property. This can be bought cash today for $245K. It is all cosmetic. All mechanicals have been updated. Everything like that has been updated. You're looking at kitchens, baths, and carpet and paint. It is a big house though, so still running probably around $35,000. But a fully renovated house in this neighborhood, it's gonna move quick, fast. That the one next door sold in 4 days. That
With
had
an offer written.
without being seen, from what I was told. So that is just a really neat property, great area. Cumberland Valley Schools, don't miss it. 4 beds, 3.5 baths. 2,600 square feet, finished basement area, just 2-car garage, really just everything you need. If you got kids, great school district, and also a lot of space. A lot of space in a 4-bed, 3.5 bath. Because I don't know if you know what it's like to have to share a bunch of showers. But those of you that have been sharing showers
Please
all your
share
life,
this.
or grew up, or are now living in a house with multiple people, and you gotta share showers or share toilets when you really gotta go. It's not
You
fun.
can all have your own in this
Yeah,
house.
all have your own. Everybody can operate that way, and you don't got to be knocking down doors to get to the bathroom. So, guys, those are some deals for us. You can always find more deals that we have available again on honesthomesolutions.com. Christy did post that right in these comment section right down here.
Thank you, Christy.
If you are looking for anything in the real estate world, have questions about it, or looking to sell a house, looking to buy a house, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at HonestHomeSolutions.com. We can buy any property cash at any time, and then anyone that does know where a property is or has somebody that has a property, we are willing to work with you, pay you a referral fee 100% straight from Honest Home Solutions. I am outside of my real estate license there, and just purely as Honest Home Solutions, pay you a referral fee to bring us any deals that you have that may be available. So, please don't worry. We will get you taken care of. If you know deals, if you're out there running around and you see houses and you want to send pictures of us, send them to us. We'll get out there. We'll take care of you. If you're looking to do your first deal, be there on Friday. We now have 4 more seats. I just did get a text message, so it might be down to 3. But we're good from there. And if you're looking to get your name out on social media, if you're looking to brand yourself, if you're looking to have a show like this, something that you can be out there, let people know you're available, let people know what you are, brand yourself, show people what you're about, be live, be raw, be willing to talk about what it looks like from start to finish, what your company's about. Reach out to Shane DeGarry, Shane Train Studios. We are here live every Wednesday at 9 a.m. And what we do here, the information that we try to supply you guys with, is what his business is all about. He's given us a stage to brand ourselves and a platform, and that's what he wants to do for you. So you guys, if you are interested in getting your information out there, please reach out to Shane DeGarry at Shane Train Studios, because this guy right here, he's going to work for you harder than anybody's ever worked for you before. And he's going to do everything he can to make sure that you're successful by building your brand with him, and you guys really become a partnership of what it looks like to build a brand and grow through social media. Use your phones, be known through them with Shane DeGarry. He's an awesome guy, and I want to thank you always for what you do for us, man.
And so we now go on site. So we're going to be at the home show. We go to your companies. We consult. So it started with, we did that one with you. We're going to do
worked out, man. That was a good one. Yeah. So
we'll go on site. We'll consult your business. We'll consult your employees. So we do consulting and training, where we come in and we do a hour training with your employees on the importance of your brand, and they're carrying your brand around. So we teach you and educate you. Awareness is the first key, and then we get it down from there. So we do that, and we also can set you up with a video set up in your wherever you are, whether it's your house, your office, whether you're doing a performance somewhere and you want us to consult you with the setup or do it. We do all that. We offer, we expanded our services because the demands went up. So message us, we'll work it out and make it affordable.
Well, even your expertise on the algorithms, of Facebook and today, it's a tough word for me right now. I need more coffee. I've learned so much from him, just about how it even functions with social media and how to really leverage it to its max. And we've seen a huge return, just our continued increase in responses and activity with our videos. So it's pretty neat.
Man. So please use him. If you're looking to sell a property, reach out to Honest Home Solutions. Yeah. If you're looking for social media expertise, reach out to Shane DeGarry. Guys, we will see you next Wednesday with a brand new special episode of Coffee and Cash Deals. We're going to have to plan an off-site one here soon.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been rocking out. I love this little, I'm not going to lie, I like the studio. We have fun here. But, maybe we'll do something. Maybe we'll go to a house or something and maybe even a lead. Maybe go to an appointment or something and see what that looks like. Or somebody that we've worked with and really have them talk about, what the experience was like with, working with Honest Home Solutions and that type of thing. Bring them on the show. That'll be cool. That would be awesome. That would be a
it's the whole human connection.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? That's what we always connect. People have different titles and different positions.
For sure.
But the humanness, and that's what we love about working with you guys, is your humanness is level.
We try to keep that way. We have a heart first mentality. If you lead with that instead of your head all the time, you're going to make the right choices, I think, a lot of times.
Yeah, man, we love it. We love it. We love York. We love anywhere you are in the world. We appreciate you. Hug your loved ones, man, and be okay with the people that don't love you, and never not love yourself. In a wholesome, great way. Yeah. You got Heavenly Heritage. You got today. today's a good day to start. Rock bottom's a great way to be because then you can only go,
Go up.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
So focus this week, guys. Mamba mentality.
Yeah.
Keep that. Remember it. For everybody that hit a jumper and yelled Kobe,
I did one of the office yesterday. I have a basketball hoop on the
keep
back
that
of my
up.
door.
It's that mind frame, that game time face, that go get it every single day. The process, the systems, the work ethic, the dedication, the commitment to your dreams, your vision, whatever it may be. You got to keep rocking. You got to keep pushing. Only you are in charge of that. Let the negativity of people thinking that you won't be who you are or what your dreams are or that you won't succeed be the motivator behind your dreams. Be the motivator that makes you keep your foot on the gas pedal every single morning. You guys keep rocking out. You guys have an incredible week.
Moment of silence for Kobe. Can we put his picture up? Moment of silence for not just
Without
Kobe,
a doubt.
but everyone that was lost.
Everybody that was
right?
lost.
I mean, we just lost
Families,
Chris Spellman. And listen, we talk about sports people. We love sports. We played sports. They magnify. That's the only reason, right? So don't get that wrong.
Yeah.
For sure.
So everybody in that crash, we moment of silence for them.
Definitely.
God bless y'all. Have a beautiful
Definitely,
day.
guys. Take care.
Thank
Have a
you.
great
Great
week,
show.
guys. Thank you.
Next Wednesday, 9 a.m., Coffee and Cash Deals.
And then Friday.
Friday, social media show. Yes,
You're
indeed.
going to be here.
Yes,
we're
indeed.
going to do it earlier, so
Yeah.
we'll let them know, like 11, 12, whatever time. We'll let you know, but you guys are going to be here. You're going to be on the social media
Yes, indeed.
show on Friday. And then you have your
A
event
little workshop.
on Friday.
Friday, 2 to
Busy
4
day.
p.m. It'll be a crazy day.
Awesome. God bless y'all. Have a
Take
beautiful
care, guys.
day.